So when she came to school, she was actually arrested in her class and taken into detention. So these are just examples of how punitive responses to ordinary circumstances, to ordinary things that children do, can often lead directly into the system. And most importantly, these are pathways that girls are also frequenting as well as boys.
Beyond these stories, you also crunched some numbers. What did you and your colleagues find when it comes to how girls of color were treated compared with their white counterparts at school, and how those rates compare with boys of color and their white counterparts?
Well, we already had data that indicated, in terms of the overall national numbers, that 12% of African American girls experience a high school and a grade school suspension, as opposed to 2% of white girls. Now, again, this is aggregate across the country. We wanted to look a little more closely to see what the numbers looked like in New York and Boston, the two cities that we focused on. And what we found was absolutely astonishing. We found that in New York, for example, girls were disciplined 10 times more often than white girls. And in Boston, they were disciplined 11 times more often than white girls. Now, we generally know that African American students tend to be disciplined far more than their white counterparts. But what we don't know, and this was what was surprising, is that black girls' disparity relative to white girls is far greater than the disparity between black boys and white boys. So to the extent that race is playing a role, it's playing an enhanced role in making black girls subject to disparate punishment.
And why do you think that is? Why are girls faring so much worse than boys?
Well, that's one of the things that we call for more attention to. We have some suggested analyses that come from other research and from what some of the girls told us. The girls told us that they felt, first of all, that there were particular stereotypes that their teachers had on them, that they were loud, they were rowdy, they were defiant. Girls, and especially black girls, tend to be suspended more for subjective offenses, things that the teachers think warrant some kind of punitive intervention, but aren't actually formal rule violations. We think also that race and gender intersect. So we know from some of the events that have happened over the course of these last 6 months that race, particularly being black, is associated with greater degrees of aggression. That's true for girls as well as boys. And girls have the additional factor that to be seen as gender nonconforming, to be seen as aggressive or loud, is a worse thing for a woman and a girl than it is for a boy. So they're getting it both ways. They're getting racialized stereotypes playing out that they're out of control. And for a girl to be out of control actually requires even more intervention because it's a gender nonconforming kind of behavior.
The Obama administration announced not too long ago this Brothers Keeper initiative, which has a focus on, boys and young men of color. And no doubt it's an important program to have, but why not also have My Sister's Keeper?
Well, it's definitely part of, I think, where this conversation needs to go. The overarching objective is to ensure that all our youth have the opportunities undeterred by unwarranted barriers and obstacles. Well, if it turns out that our girls have unwarranted barriers and obstacles as well, some of them are the same as the obstacles that affect boys, and many are also different. We need to have programs that answer both of their needs. So we are hoping that the real problem here can be solved by more information. The assumption that only boys are doing poorly or only boys are on the school-to-prison pipeline is actually markedly not true. And our hope is that as we introduce more information about how race is playing a role in girls' lives, that will increase the public will to expand and broaden these interventions and include girls in these programs.
Kimberly Crenshaw is a professor of law at UCLA and the lead author of the new report, Black Girls Matter, Pushed Out, Overpoliced, and Underprotected. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
So there you have it. So there you
have it. That black girls are not treated any better than anyone else.
So that just goes to show us. So we should just stick to the black.
Yeah, we're all oppressed here, Anselm.
Yeah.
And oppression is not a nice thing.
So what else did you have? I got another. I actually heard about that one.
Okay.
When is it going to stop, man?
Well, let's hear the story. Since
You want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay, let me see what I got it here. I think I put it up here. No, this is not it. Here we
Okay. Thank you, listener.
The Westchester District Attorney's Office has launched an investigation. This is from CBS News.
Okay.
Has launched an investigation after symbols of hate were discovered in the SUNY Purchase campus. Did I tell you when I was at Seton Hall?
Yes, you told me that story.
Okay, all right. She just shot me down.
I can tell you the story before you tell me.
She just shot me down really quickly, man.
No, because go ahead with that story, okay?
Well, you don't even wait for me to finish the story.
But I know that, yes. You saw crosses
This
burning.
depiction of swastika and nooses were found drawn on the wall of 3 campus dormitories in the last week. These crimes are reprehensible and unacceptable, President Thomas Short said in a statement. I speak for the community in condemning this invasive, racist, and sick behavior. The Bias Crime Unit of the Westchester District Attorney's Office and the New York State University Police are investigating, Short says. Those responsible could face hate crime charges carrying a penalty of 1 to 3 years in prison. We like to find the perpetrator or perpetrators, said Dennis Craig, a vice president at SUNY Purchase. The vandals keep targeting the far side dorms, striking twice in the last few days. CBS 2 Anna Gold reported police are guarding the dorm. Law enforcement sources say that they have good evidence, but are upset that 2 of the swastikas were painted over before crime scene technician could get to the school, CBS 2 Lou Young reported. Students and staff were shocked. Can't believe that someone in this campus could be so hateful, said Gabby Skilzo told Gold. I'm upset that this is not the school that I signed up for, said senior Emma. This is one of the most horrible things that have ever happened on this campus, ever in the 4 years that I've been here. How offensive it is, student Brandon Ocasio told Gold. I'm just a little shocked that this happened here, especially because everybody comes from everywhere, different types of lifestyle, but I guess it shouldn't surprise me, said Mrs. Riley, who has worked at the school for years. One of the swastika was sketched on the door of 2 students. He was pretty upset. He's half black and his roommate Jewish, said student Kaleo Breckner. They were pretty offended and they felt like it was a personal attack. Campus police have stepped up patrol at the affected residence halls. I think it's like crazy because it's 2015. I thought people were accepting people by now, said student Ashley Hassim. A campus-wide forum is planned to update students and staff to stress the school's zero tolerance for hurt. 1010 Wins Derek Dennis reported. So there you go. We're not post-racial.
No.
We think we are.
Who thinks that?
Oh, a lot of people think that. A lot of people. Keeping it real. A lot of people think that. A whole lot of people.
Maybe it was just a harmless kiddie prank.
Okay. All right.
You know,
All right.
no, but I'm sure that some people will dismiss
A harmless
it.
kiddie prank.
Some people will dismiss
You want to
that
take
way.
that back?
No, I'm being facetious, but
Oh, okay.
some people
All
will
right.
take see it as that and not take it that serious.
No, they look like they're taking it serious though, because that stuff is serious stuff, man. You know, something got to be some. You got to have a kind of a warped mindset. Let's see if this is this the audio. Let's see if this is the audio.
Outrage here at SUNY Purchase. Students and staff coming to terms with two visible symbols of hate discovered on campus. Depictions of a swastika and nooses found in 3 dorms. Emma is a senior here.
I'm upset. This is not the school that I signed up for. This is one of the most horrible things that has ever happened on this campus, ever.
An associate provost at the school has been quoted as calling the incidents reprehensible. Political science professor Peter Schwab says it's surprising. There's an investigation underway by the Westchester County District Attorney's Office to find the person or persons responsible. They could face hate crimes charges. Derek Dennis, 1010 wins at SUNY Purchase in Westchester.
Let's listen to
You're
Muhammad
all over
Ali.
the place. I'm just going to ride on this. And
Yeah,
sit here
yeah,
and
yeah.
pass.
Let's listen to this poem by Muhammad Ali. You see, because you know what it is, though? I try to get all these things in, and at the end of the day, I don't. Let's listen to Muhammad Ali.
Most of your poems, like the one you spoke a few moments ago, are funny. But you've written one about your own people, I think at the time of the Attica prison riot. It's a serious poem. You have certainly very serious moments, as you've shown us tonight. Could you, before we go, just say that poem for us?
Oh, this poem explains the Attica prison. You heard that over there when all the black prisoners were shot, and just before they held some white hostages, and they said they would cut the throats if they didn't get what they wanted. And the word was, well, if the throats are cut, then shoot and kill everybody. They found out during the autopsy that the throats were not cut, they just shot them for nothing, the trigger-happy policeman, and that Rockefeller gave word 10 minutes or so, if they don't give up, I think it's the way it went, open fire. And one black person that came out to speak to the warden, he said, you have 10 minutes to surrender. What's your reply? We're going to come in shooting. And the black prisoner came out, poetic poem. This didn't happen, but this is what I wrote. He said, better far from all I see, to die fighting to be free. What more fitting end could be? Better surely than in some bed where in broken health I'm led, lingering until I'm dead. Better than with prayers and pleas are in the clutch of some disease, wasting slowly by degrees. Better than of heart attack or some dose of drug I lack. Let me die by being black. Better far that I should go, standing here against the foe. Is the sweeter death to know? Better than the bloody stain on some highway where I'm lain, torn by flying glass and pain. Better call in death to come than to die another dumb, muted victim in the slum. Better than of this prison rot, if there's any choice I've got, kill me here on the spot. Better far my fight to wage now while my blood boils with rage, lest it cool with ancient age. Better violent for us to die than to Uncle Tom and try, making peace just to live a lie. Better now that I say my sooth, I'm gonna die demanding truth while I'm still akin to youth. Better now than later on, now that fear of death is gone, never mind another darn.
That guy is unbelievable.
He was unbelievable.
He is. He's still here. You know he was. He's still here.
I know he's still here.
Yeah, but what do you mean by he was? You know, I mean, he's still here.
Well, now he's, got Parkinson's
The
disease.
guy, yeah, but you know what? I
Falling
mean,
apart, like we all will.
the guy's gonna leave a
Except for
legacy.
you, of course. Of course he is.
Mm-hmm.
Surely he is.
Yeah.
Surely he is.
So what else
Can
you
I-
got going on?
Hey, can I bring it back home for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm looking at this recent article just a couple of hours ago. Seton Village residents.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Organized to protest density, a proposed development on Irvington Avenue.